Hello everyone. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So let's study the topic apomixis and polyembryony. What is apomixis and what is polyembryony and the examples for this. Okay. Yes. Apomixis and polyembryony. You know that the seeds which are formed, that is after the fertilization in the flowering plants, right? So but the few flowering plants such as Asteraceae and grasses have evolved the special mechanism that is called as apomixis. Then what is this special mechanism apomixis? You know that generally what happens, the seeds that are formed after the fertilization, right? After the fertilization, the seeds will develop. So they are the products of the fertilization, the ovule that develop into seed. But the some plants which belong to the family Asteraceae and the grasses, they produce the seeds without fertilization. So due to the some hormonal changes and due to some process, they produce the seeds without fertilization. That phenomenon is called as apomixis. Okay, so here the definition of the apomixis and the example, that is very important. Asteraceae and grasses are the important examples. Okay, so there are several ways of development of the apomictic seeds. In some species, the diploid egg cell is formed without reduction division and develops into the embryo without fertilization. So, but how these apomixis seeds are developed, right? So, there are different ways. The first one, in some species, the diploid egg cell is formed without reduction division. You know that megaspore mother cell that undergo the reduction division, that undergo the meiosis cell division and form the haploid megaspore, and that megaspore that develop into embryo sac, that is haploid megaspore that develop into embryo sac, and embryo sac that contain the egg cell, that is also haploid in condition, right? But sometime what happens, this diploid egg cell is formed without reduction division. So the megaspore mother cell that is not able to undergo the reduction division and form the diploid egg cell. So this diploid egg cell develop into embryo without fertilization. Okay, so this is the one method of the development of the apomictic seeds. Then the second topic, that is the apomixis and the polyembryony. In many plants like citrus and mango, the nucellar cells surrounding the embryo sac start dividing, protrude into the embryo sac and develop into the embryos. So what is this polyembryony mechanism? So the polyembryony means the occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed. So that is referred as polyembryony. Okay. So the definition of the polyembryony is very important. The occurrence of the more than one embryo in a seed, that is called as polyembryony. Example, citrus and mango. Okay, citrus and the mango are the example for polyembryony. But how this polyembryony, how this more than one embryo that is present in seed? Okay, so here the nucellar cells surrounding the embryo sac, you know that inside the embryo sac, there are nucellar cells, right? Nucellar cells are present. So they start dividing, protrude into embryo sac and develop into embryo. So this develop into embryo sac and develop. So these nucellar cells, they divide and develop the embryos. So because of this, within a single seed, more than one embryos are present. So that is because of the nucellar cells present around the embryo sac. Okay, so this phenomenon is called as polyembryony. Okay, so this apomixis and the polyembryony, the definition of the apomixis and the examples for the apomixis, and how the apomictic seeds are developed, and how polyembryony, so that is developed. So that is very important in this topic. Thank you.